Hello, my name is Allie Duzett, and this is Liver Healing 1, the first of 3 videos that will be specifically targeting the liver. Why is the liver important? What does it do? This following set of sentences is from Wikipedia, and so is this picture. You see the brown of the liver and how it hooks in there to the gallbladder, and it's right by the spleen and the stomach. The liver has a wide range of functions, including detoxification of various metabolites, protein synthesis, and the production of biochemicals necessary for digestion. It also plays a role in metabolism, regulation of glycogen storage, decomposition of red blood cells, and hormone production. If the liver is damaged, then what? Some symptoms that you may experience are pale stools, dark urine, jaundice, itching. It says itching is the most common complaint by people who have liver failure. If you are dealing with a chronic itch, even if you don't have jaundice, if you're having a rash or something like that, what's happening is your liver is unable to process all the toxins that your body needs processed, and so your skin is processing them for you, and that results in a rash and itching. Swelling of the abdomen, ankles, and feet can occur. Excessive fatigue from a generalized loss of nutrients, minerals, and vitamins. Bruising and easy bleeding can happen, and pain in the area of the liver. The subconscious mind manages the liver, and that is what we're going to be dealing with today. We're going to be dealing with our liver through the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the thing that regulates how you breathe and how you digest your food, including how your liver digests your food. And so if you can cause a change in the subconscious mind's decision on how to manage the liver, then you can actually affect your liver's health. And we are going to access the subconscious mind using imagery. The subconscious mind, you can't always talk to it in words, but it is very responsive to pictures and imagination. So we're going to use our imaginations to access our subconscious mind and our liver management. On the next slide, we're going to talk about a resistance that the liver has to healing. But right now, I went back and edited it so that this slide had it too. When your liver purges junk from itself, it has to be excreted from the body in a timely manner. So it may be wise to take some laxatives prior to watching the rest of this video. If you are extremely backed up, you'll want to take a few days first and just really make sure you're cleaned out. You can use enemas, you can use magnesium citrate, laxative dose vitamin C could be a good idea because vitamin C flushes the liver anyway. When I say laxative dose vitamin C, for me, that's almost 80,000 milligrams per day. So like 80 of those 1,000 milligram chewables. And so you really do eat them like candy. You just eat them all day long, as much as your body can handle them, as much as your tongue can handle the tart sweetness. You just eat them all day long until you basically have given yourself diarrhea. And you can flush the bowel that way so that when the liver decides to excrete the gunk that is clogging it up, it can leave your body safely. You can also use intestinal cleanse pills. I have a brand that I like. I think it's called like Green Lifestyle Intestinal Cleanse or something like that. But you can do your own research. I mean, this is your body. You decide what you want and you do that. But if the liver purges gunk from itself and your bowel is backed up, anytime the bowel is backed up, what can happen and what does happen is the toxins in the stool kind of can get slurped back through the intestinal lining and into your bloodstream. So if you are sick and you are also backed up, you may be sick because you are backed up, if that makes sense. Your elimination systems need to be functioning really well for your liver to cleanse properly, even energetically. So I do recommend that if you are, probably anyone should do this. Pause this and come back to it in 3 days and just take a few laxatives for the next couple days and then come back to this and start cleansing out the liver energetically. Okay. Well, we will begin. I'm assuming that you have already taken your laxatives. I even wrote it here on this slide. take your laxatives. You will need to be able to excrete gunk from the liver that decides to release from this session if it does. But this first resistance is a fear, panic, terror, anger, and it is of the liver, and it feels very afraid to let go of all of its clogs. It's afraid that if it lets go of all the stuff that's backing it up, that's backing the liver up, that it will make things worse, because if it lets go of those things and they can't get all the way out in one go, it can just cause a lot of terrible problems as those toxins reabsorb into the bloodstream. So we're teaching the liver that you are going to take really good care of it. You are going to take your laxatives before you watch anything else in this series, and teaching the liver that it has to let go of things in order to heal. It has to be able to flush that stuff out, unclog those holes so that it can be more effective and heal up any rashes, any swelling, any fatigue that you may be feeling. So breathe that in, and now for really, really reals, if you have not taken your laxatives yet, pause this, close it up, go get some laxatives, take 2 or 3 days to clear out your bowel, and then come on back and we'll keep going. The first image here is a wild-eyed panic paralysis. I saw a person in a coffin, alive but feeling paralyzed, ignored, and left for dead. Frozen with paranoia, fear, and panic. It says, nobody cares if I die. Nobody cares if I die. Very afraid. Take some deep breaths. We're releasing this, washing it out and healing it up. And you can imagine this image being lodged in your liver, and you're washing it out with some pure white perfect light and healing it up so that it's very, very healthy and there's no trace of that panic paralysis. So we can move on. The second image is a cowboy in a western town, walking up, guns in hand, ready to start taking people out. He's swaggering, and he's there to take people down. There's a lot of pride, but secret fear in this cowboy. An overdose of adrenaline, incapable of resting, always feeling like the bad guys are out to get him. A big discouragement says, life has to be me against the world. I have no one else to rely on. I am all alone. There's a despair about this, but also an acceptance, kind of just like, well, this is my fate. Guess I better just carry my guns around everywhere and never take a rest and always be ready to shoot the bad guys. So take a deep breath. We're reteaching the liver how to rely on others for assistance when necessary. Teaching this cowboy that the town is actually safe, and there's really not a whole lot of people that he needs to shoot, and it's actually okay to go home and just get some sleep and rest. There are people you can count on. You are safe. Breathe that in. Now there's a big rejection of safety. So we kind of back up and see a flashback of this cowboy as a child being kicked and beaten by people that were supposed to love him. He's feeling very broken from his childhood, and like there's no one to turn to. He's betrayed. The people he loves hurt him, and there is no safety. There is nowhere safe to go, nowhere to rest. I have to always fight. Don't you see? I always have to fight. And see this cowboy as a child just crying and really letting it go. You can imagine a healer coming up to this child and wrapping him up in the healer's arms and just holding this child while he cries and cries. And this healer says, I know, I understand, and it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. But that chapter can be over now, and you really can be safe now. You can be safe now. There's a big resistance that just says, how can you say that? I've never been safe. I've never been safe. I've never been safe. There's a big terror of feeling safe. If I feel safe, someone's going to take advantage of me, someone's going to hurt me, and I will never recover. I will never get better. It's easier and better if I always am on guard and I never can take a rest. Because if I let down my guard and somebody hurts me, then I will be so destroyed, I will never be able to heal. So watch as this healer teaches this child, heart to heart, in this beam of light, that the divine perspective on this situation, And that sometimes we are betrayed, and sometimes we're hurt by people we loved. And sometimes those betrayals and those hurts are very severe and very serious. But it is still safe to rely on our divine healer and on the Creator to take care of us. And it can be safe to feel safe. It really can. It can feel safe to be safe. If there is somewhere in your body that represents this decision that you can never feel safe to feel safe, see if you can just hug it and give it a little kiss and tell it, thank you, thank you, thank you for serving me. Thank you. You've done a really good job. And now I release you to graduate, and I release myself to allow myself to feel safe again. And so releasing that image, washing it out, and healing it up. You have to be quiet because I'm working, right? Image number 4 is a terror confusion at the liver's function. It's the liver itself being terrified and confused of its own job. It's like, what am I even supposed to be doing? I don't even know. I don't even know what I do. Blah. It feels very upset about this. So imagine a blueprint with a complete instruction manual of how the liver works, why it works, how it hooks into the rest of the body on a physical level, on a spiritual level, on an emotional level. All of its functions, known and unknown by science. All of its functions. Imagine the liver absorbing this instruction manual and breathing this sigh of relief, like, oh, that's what I do. Wow, I had no idea. Imagine that liver absorbing its blueprint, the divine blueprint of how it's supposed to function, and it just says, whoa, I had no idea. This is fabulous. And it breathes that in. And the liver understands now how to eliminate toxins safely, how to experience true flow. Flow both of physical items through the liver and also energetic things and emotions through the liver. Releasing all these feelings of unsupported, the liver feeling like it doesn't have the nutrients necessary to function properly. So putting in both to the conscious and subconscious minds a nutritional understanding of what is necessary to support the liver. And I urge you to go through and actually Google this for yourself and really prayerfully, thoughtfully consider the different things that your liver may be in need of at this time. But some things that came up from my research were dark leafy greens, nuts and seeds, high quality dairy and eggs, meat, and livers of organic and humanely farmed animals. For your liver to function properly, it needs enough protein. Many people shy away from meat for many reasons, but as my sister-in-law, a nutritional therapy practitioner, has explained, meat is medicine, and that is one reason why we're supposed to eat it sparingly if we are well. If your body is doing great, maybe you don't need a lot of meat, but if your body is having a lot of struggles, meat is medicine. Not all meat, organic, high quality, humanely farmed meat is medicine. If your liver is struggling, you may need more meat. If you do not like meat, if you don't like how it tastes or how it makes your body feel, that it may not be so much a personal, like a psychological preference as it is your body's struggles to process the meat due to a hydrochloric acid problem in your stomach. If your stomach is not producing enough hydrochloric acid, then you will not be able to process meat the way that it is meant to be processed, and that will cause some problems for your liver. So I do recommend a hydrochloric acid supplement. You can either drink some diluted apple cider vinegar with every meal to help boost the acidity of your stomach so it can actually process the food that you eat. Or you can go and buy HCl tablets at basically any health store, I think. And what you do is you take one pill with your one meal, take 2 pills with the next meal, take 3 pills with the next meal, and you just build up until after your meal, you feel a warmth in your stomach, and that means that you have taken 1 too many pills. So then you back off. So if you built up to 7 HCl pills and then you felt this warmth in your stomach after your dinner, then the next meal you're going to take just 6, and you're going to take 6 with every meal until again you start feeling that warmth in your stomach after you take 6. Then you're going to take it back down to 5. And as your body has enough stomach acid to actually process your high quality, nutritionally dense foods that you eat, your body's going to be able to actually create more of its own hydrochloric acid and restore the proper acidity to the stomach. And so over time, basically HCl supplementation, you won't have to do this for the whole rest of your life. You're going to have to do it for maybe some weeks or some months, possibly years, but I would really guess more like months, like maybe like 6 months. So please reach out if you have questions about HCl supplementation. But the takeaway here is that the liver needs enough meat. It needs enough protein. It may not always need meat, but if you are unwell, if you are watching this video, this is a sign that you, especially if you are a vegan or vegetarian, you may need to consider building in some animal products into your diet so that you can support the liver the way that it needs to be supported. And again, if you listen to your own body, if you're feeling like, no, I need to stay a vegan forever, do what you want, but this is something to be considering for your own health. I'm not a doctor. Listen to your own body. You are in charge of your own health. But these are things that may be important for you to be aware of for your liver healing. So putting in, go ahead and imagine your liver again and how it's incorporating this set of divine instructions and blueprints on functioning, and healing this liver with an understanding of what to do next to heal and function. And just imagine it kind of smiling with this little relieved smile of like, whoo, I thought I would never figure this out. I understand now. Woo. 5, I saw the baby from Rock-a-Bye Baby in the treetop, and the tree is rocking this baby in this little bassinet. It's at the very tip of this tree. It's not very safe, and this baby just can't wake up. It's like vaguely aware that things are not ideal, but it's too tired. It can't even wake up. It's so lethargic and exhausted. It is too tired to function. But underneath all of that, there's a feeling of betrayal. My body has betrayed me. My food has betrayed me. My liver has betrayed me. And as we look at this resting baby and we dig in and look at its liver, underneath all of that is a quiet anger. And as we watch it, it just builds and builds and builds. And it just says, wow, I'm so angry. I'm so angry at myself for my liver not functioning. There's so much guilt, and this liver feeling so guilty, but so angry and so betrayed and exhausted. And it's just crying and crying and crying. And so watch this liver cry and cry. Release with some deep breaths. So as we can move on. So image 6 is insomnia, lying on a bed exhausted. It can't sleep. Okay, this is a betrayal and abandonment of body, feeling sorrow and disappointed that I'm not getting enough rest. It's kind of a funny thing because it's like, it's partially the liver's fault that no matter how much you sleep, you don't feel rested, but also to the extent that you don't feel rested, the liver's not getting enough rest to function properly. So it's kind of this two-way street. The liver's making it so I can't get enough rest. My lack of rest makes it so my liver can't function properly. Because my liver can't function properly, I can't get good quality rest. So releasing this loop and cutting off that pattern, imagine it as like this Mobius strip in your liver and in your brain. And imagine just taking some celestial scissors and snip, snip. And you imagine the ribbon of those scissors, or of the time loop and this pattern to just get slurped off into outer space where it can't bother anybody. And releasing that pattern and teaching the liver how to function so that you can get enough sleep and so that it can derive what it needs to derive from your sleep and from your rest, that it can function properly. Releasing all ancestral memories of not enough sleep and of liver trauma, liver failure, liver issues, washing that all out from the liver. Releasing all inherited memories of liver-related physical fatigue and exhaustion, washing that out and healing that up. And imagine that your liver glowing with light as it washes out that old junk. Releasing all contracts to not sleep and healing those up. You can imagine on pieces of paper contracts written out, I promise not to get enough sleep, or I contract that my liver will have troubles so that I cannot sleep. And just imagine ripping that up and infusing the little pieces with light and releasing yourself from any contracts of that nature. And now imagine your liver as a honeycomb with all of its holes plugged up. And now what you're going to do is you are going to imagine cleaning out as many holes as you can. And especially if you ignored me and didn't take your laxatives, do not do this until you've taken your laxatives, okay? Your bowel needs to be clear so that you can release this liver gunk in a safe and timely manner. And if you do not, you may make your condition worse. So please take me seriously and make sure your bowel is clear. You will need to help keep your bowel very, very clear for about a week after watching this. So please be on top of your laxatives. Please be on top of that. The goal is for you to get better, not to get worse. Cleaning out the liver without cleaning out the bowel can cause problems, so clean out your bowel. And now what you will do is you can imagine taking this like divine chopstick and just poking out the gunk from all the different holes. So I invite you to pause here and just take the time to clean out as much as you can. Some plugs will not come unplugged yet, and that's fine. We have 2 more videos in this series, and we're going to continue working on liver problems in the next 2 videos. So just clear out what you can. Don't beat yourself up about any that won't come unplugged. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Just clean out what you can, and then we'll move on. We're going to pull up a list of any mental belief programs tied in with this liver stuff. We don't need to know what they are, but just imagine a scroll. And on this scroll is written out mental belief programs, and you don't need to even be able to read them, but just all the ones associated with your liver function that relate in any way to any of the images that we cleared today. Pull them up on there, and then just take a deep breath and blow those mental belief programs into nothingness. Make the scroll just dissolve into nothing. And now on a new scroll, you're going to imagine yourself writing, I have perfect liver health. My liver functions perfectly according to the divine instructions on liver functionality and health. I have a perfectly functioning liver. And breathe that in. Breathe in the scroll so it kind of goes up into your nose and like into your brain and into your liver, and it wraps around your liver, wraps around your brain, connects the brain to the liver with this beautiful blue cord, and they're all working together to give you the most perfectly functioning liver. It is safe for this liver to function. And now we will look at disconnections. So imagine your liver and your brain and the liver-brain connection, and pull up if you can imagine any broken pipes or tubes or any shattered things associated with your liver or the liver-brain connection. Pull up those broken things and wash them out with pure white perfect light. Wash out all the darkness. You might need to pause here and just take a minute to wash everything out. And then when it's done, you're going to Imagine pure white, perfect light, sealing all of those disconnections back together. Any broken tubes or pipes are going to come back together and be perfectly whole. Any puzzle piece-like things are going to come back together and be fully healed. We're going to wash out any fragmentation of the liver that's ready to go at this time and heal it back up again so that it's perfectly intact. We're going to realign the liver to the extent that it is willing to be realigned at this time, and realigning and opening up some ducts that need to be opened. There's a tightness around one duct that I'm seeing. It's very panicked at opening. It's like, I can't let go of this stuff. It will make me a mean person. So release that out. Breathe it out. Now the liver processes anger and it creates the emotions of anger. So if you are feeling extra angry today and in the next week as you are excreting the gunk from your liver, that's okay. You can reach out to me though, and I would be happy to support you however I can. And so just breathe that all out. And we're going to be opening up that duct. And in your mind, as you take your laxatives, when you're sitting there on the potty, you can imagine your liver and imagine the duct that connects your liver to the other things, and imagine them opening up so that things can flow out of the liver. And imagine using that divine chopstick to poke all the goo out of each individual hole of your liver, and imagine it making its way through the colon and out of your body. And that will be a very good mental exercise for you. So you can imagine that. Double checking, getting everything went through good for this session. But please reach out to me after you watch this, and I'll make sure that how well it went for you, and if you need to watch this video again. So always reach out to me. And now go ahead and close your eyes and imagine yourself growing roots into the center of the earth and out for 5 miles in every direction. And breathe in the power from the earth that makes you feel very grounded and very safe. Imagine earth energy going up through your legs, through your bum, up to your liver, and wrapping the liver up in this beautiful earth energy that is so stabilizing and calming and revitalizing and nutritious. And it fills your liver with the spiritual nutrients of the earth. And just breathe that in. Thank the earth. Thank your divine healer. Not me, although you can thank me if you want, but your higher power that is a healer for you. And breathe that in. And drink tons of water today, like 5 times more water than you think you need. Do not drink soda, please. Oh, please don't drink soda or coffee or basically anything except water. Please just drink water for the sake of your liver, okay? And I will see you in video 2. Have a great day.